Hello everyone, we're going to watch some Bughouse on chess.com, do a little bit of commentary. I'll still be streaming my normal time later tonight. Should be partnering with Jarl tonight, so that should be fun. But right now we're going to watch a series, Chewy and Helm's Knight versus Larso and Bughouse Knight. I am not in a Discord call with either team, so we're just going to watch and do commentary rather than hear it from their perspective. I see there is a call that Larso and Bughouse Knight are in. I don't really want to intrude on them since we can't hear both teams anyway. Helm's Knight has forced the queen. The bishop covers. If the bishop weren't here, it would be immediate mate with, well, a pawn would mate. But now there isn't mate. If Helm's Knight again could get rid of this bishop, then if Chewy could get rid of the bishop, it would be mate. Now it looks like Chewy is gonna lose some material. Helm's Knight is down an enormous amount of time, so that was going to be outcome determinative. So they've resigned it. Our score right now is 4-3, favoring Chewy and Helm's Knight. So it's going to be very important for Chewy and Helm's Knight to stay up on time. If they get downtime, I think they're going to get chessed. But we'll see. Pawn here is very good. Displace the rook. New knight would be good, or a new pawn. Pawn for c7. Larso up time. He could wait for a pawn. I think he ought to. This is a good intermezzo move. I think he could take the rook. If pawn takes, it's a free bishop. He could take the pawn. Maybe pawn in. Okay, that's good as well. Knight check. And that's mate. Our score is now 4-all. We're all tied up. If Chewy had been up a bunch of time, he could have waited for pawns to go after this bishop. He's just going to keep moving. That's a free knight, and this knight covers, so there wasn't any check to win back the queen. Oh, this king looks quite vulnerable, but Helm's Knight only has pawns in hand. And they are not really up that much time. Helm's Knight's going to try to keep the initiative, but if Chewy can't trade a lot of pieces very quickly, then Helm's Knight's attack is going to crumble, and they are just going to be down a bunch of pieces. Larso has a lot of ammunition in hand. Larso's king seems fairly safe, I think. Bughouse Knight is asking Larso to stall. Picked up another pawn. Larso's position getting a little bit unsafe. This bishop move is very nice. May need to sack the queen, although that's not going to help Bughouse Knight. Bughouse Knight wants to get all these pieces on the board. Bughouse Knight has a huge piece advantage over Helm's Knight, but if Helm's Knight is allowed to keep sticking pieces on the board, she's going to eventually wear him down. So a rook mates for Helm's Knight, by the way. And there's the queen, that's mate in 1. Let's throw the queen on g2 due to the pin here. Not sure why we're not playing mate in 1. Maybe she's disconnected. Maybe she didn't see mate in 1. Okay. So the game continues. And now there's a mate threat on Chewy. And that's like the queen of mate for Chewy. If this queen land somewhere it can be taken. This is going to be mate soon anyway. Rook in. Even better would be, I think, rook at c2. And he can play queen takes. Okay, that was won by Chewy and Helm's Knight. But again, Chewy missed, sorry, Helm's Knight missed mate and 1 earlier. Larso has picked up for some free material. Bughouse Knight getting attacked. Queen trade on offer. Hey BR, thanks for watching. Bughouse Knight making some threats. So I think if you trade the queens, you'd like to play bishop takes bishop, but have to watch out for d7. That's why he placed another bishop there. Now knight at b7 is possible. Okay, he's guarding this important square, also threatening knight takes. That's adventurous. Oh, I think new knight at e2 was pretty crushing there. Now Helm's Knight has more luft. So Helm's Knight can probably live through this. I think it's gonna take a bit more material for Helm's Knight to attack. Like the 4th knight would help. Don't see that coming. Hey, Fish Random Chess. Yeah, I'm gonna monkey. Yeah, Helm's Knight is trying to get back into it. My understanding is she is planning on playing in the tournament that's coming up next week. Let me give more info on the tournament in case anyone is not aware of it. Tournament's run by chess.com. Prize pool $7,500. Monday through Thursday next week, there will be 2-hour arenas, and there will be 2 arenas a day. I guess a morning one and an afternoon one. Winner of those 8 arenas progresses to a double elimination ladder on Friday. A double elimination ladder will basically be, each match will be a half an hour, and whoever has more points at the end of the half an hour wins. Whoa, I think queen at d8 was very good, or rook at d8 maybe. Okay, well he's played the equivalent. What? Knight takes seems better, but maybe this is more forcing. Rook mates. Knight can take that. Okay, I guess she's just going for flag. And she's gonna flag herself. Yeah, so tournament coming up. Keep that in mind. Helms is preparing for the tournament. She is hoping to either win the tournament or at least place very high in the tournament. So wants to get in better practice, is my understanding. And I think we checked the Bughouse leaderboard maybe yesterday or the day before, and Helm's Knight at that point was already back in the top 20. So she is a very strong player, even if a little bit rusty. And it seems based on her performance, she seems not at all rusty. Though she did hang a knight there. She's going to try to attack. I think Bughouse Knight is pretty safe. Bughouse Knight up pieces. Helm's Knight being aggressive, trying to attack. Like this knight move. Attacks the queen, also defends some weak squares. We'll take the queen for sure. I guess knight is temporarily bad. Ooh, that looks ugly. Rook takes rook, I assume. Queen over. This is looking not so hot for Chewy. What's the time like? Well, Lars is actually down time. This is actually covered. This is covered. Maybe he could just take the bishop. I would probably just take the bishop. He's going for mate, I guess. Okay, well, he was able to take that stuff with initiative, which is always helpful. Oh, he could have come up here. All right, let's mate for Larso. Our score right now is 6-5. Favoring Larso and Bughouse Knight. Chewy is saying Helm's Knight will be right back. I guess I could check out the Bughouse leaderboard while I'm waiting. Let's see, where did they throw leaderboards? I don't know, chess.com, they hurry some of these things. Oh, here we go, leaderboard. Helm's Knight is number 29th right now. And number 29. I think she used to be 18th as of a few days ago. So she's gone down a little bit of rating, but still very, very strong. By the way, number 1 and number 2 on the leaderboard, both a Wonder Liang, otherwise known as Katask. So Chewy would like a knight. I guess a bishop's good too. Bishop's good. Or a knight. Bishop at e3. Knight at h5. Could try pawn g5. But that would leave the f7 square open. I mean, he's up. I guess a knight is pretty much for... Oh, take the queen. Yeah, queen in. Queen at e3. Seems good. And they've resigned it. This king is not happy. Helm's Knight loves attacking, so she's very happy to see this unsafe king. She's going to put continuous pressure there. So knight at h1 would be a threat if a rook comes. Helm's Knight wants pieces. I think either rook or bishop, like a bishop for f1, or knight at h1 followed by rook at g2 maybe. But now has to worry about something landing on e7, so I might go for safety. Nope, she's going to attack. A bishop would be quite good. Using the pawn, threatening a pawn promotion. Might sack the queen. I guess not. One knight would be good. Okay. Bishop is quite good. Helm's Knight going to continue to attack. Knight takes pawn. Seems pretty strong. I think Crushing, I would say. Although the bishop does guard. Not going to be immediate mate, but it's still going to be helpful. Interesting to prevent from going back here. Yes, this is a better version of what I just talked about. I think rook check followed by promotion would be good. And there's mate. Nice mate by Helm's Knight. Our score right now is 7-6, favoring Helm's Knight and Shui. Shui's getting sacked on. Larsa was already sacked on. Going to be a lot of attacking on the Shui board. I think Helm's Knight is generally better at attacking herself than feeding. So we'll see if she's able to get Shui the pieces he wants. So queen mates for Shui. Pawn plus rook would be good. He might end up sacking this queen. Maybe bishop check, bishop takes pawn, knight takes. And then he's hoping for a rook, but in the absence of a rook, he could just take the queen while he's waiting, I guess. And knight takes rook, possible. Hey, Firefly. Knight mates for Chewy. Really? Where's the... Oh, I see. Bishop check, king over, knight check, pawn takes. Take the rook. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Knight does mate for Chewy. Thank you for that insight. Chewy continuing to attack. He's going for the light squares. Ooh, I think Chewy might have blundered this attack a bit. But that queen seals the deal. I think he had mate without the queen if he was a little more precise there. Helm's Knight has an active queen, but has given up a piece. All these trades probably going to benefit Helm's Knight. Ooh, although a rook mates now. Okay, rook no longer mates. It's been a sack by Helm's Knight. And they're trading another set of queens. Helm's Knight goes for some defense. This is going to be like a piece factory for Bughouse Knight. Every pawn is going to win a piece. Oh, he stopped waiting for pawns because he's down time. And that's a win for Chewy. Firefly, are you going to participate in the tournament coming up next week? And if so, do you have a partner? Wondering who your partner is. Possibly. Do not have a partner. Firefly looking for a strong partner. Bughouse Knight looking to defend some weak squares. Helm's Knight sacked a bit. Gonna chase the queen around. Oh, knight up. Yep. Pawn would win queen. Queen could be won back from Helm's Knight. But Helm's Knight just wants to attack. Wants like knight at 6, something like that. Maybe rook h8. Rook takes rook or something. Would Helm's Knight be mated by that? With like knight at e3? I think she's okay. Well, another knight would mate her. In addition to this one, I mean. Maybe Helm's Knight is waiting for a knight. For h6. There it is. That's a safer way of doing this. This bishop guards some important squares for now. So queen takes bishop if bishop takes, probably. Okay. Maybe just pawn check, then rook at f7. Pawn check if bishop takes its mate with the smothered mate. But if king takes, rook at f7. Oh, someone has matched me to 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and block that person. And we will deny the match request. Go die in a fire. Helm's Knight down about 6 seconds. I'm sure she's going to look for an attack. I still think that this bishop check was a good idea before. Let's mate. Oh, whoa. Bughouse Knight chose not to mate. Knight check, rook in. Or wait, hold on. Maybe this bishop held temporarily. I think it was still worth attacking now. Helm's Knight giving up maybe 2 queens to attack here. Or wait, did I have them reversed? Was it Bughouse Knight giving up 2 queens? Yeah, no, I guess Bughouse Knight was giving up 2 queens. My bad. Oh, push the pawn. Pushing e3 seemed pretty good for Helm's Knight. But I guess she would have decastled to get safe first. Knight wins queen. She's going to just keep moving. Now knight wins the game. Knight still is mate in 1 move. Helm's Knight may be waiting for a knight so she could sack her queen. If she gets the knight, sack the queen. If we take... I guess there's some left though, so maybe that's not even worth it. Maybe just pawn check the knight in. An idea. Or that works. Chewie has mate. I'll go into Geneva and play bug this weekend. Nice. Yeah, there's 8 qualifiers, Firefly, so there's plenty of time. There's 2 qualifiers a day, Monday through Thursday. Knight wins queen for Chewie. Helm's Knight going for this knight. Bughouse Knight up 2 seconds. Gonna stall before giving the knight. Could maybe gain a fraction of a second by taking this pawn. More likely Chewie's gonna look for an aggressive move or defense rather than waiting for the knight. Maybe just put something on d3 and threaten shenanigans there. Although, does this mate? Knight check looks pretty bad. Chewie may need to go into defense mode. He could put a rook behind. Actually, bishop at h5, I think, is my preferred move. Bishop at h5 guards the king square, also threatens mate on e2. I would play bishop at h5. we'll see what Chewy does. Firefly likes bishop at d3. Yeah, bishop d3 is an okay move, but I think bishop h5 is a little better. Accomplishes similar things while also defending. But he has done neither of those things. That wins a queen. That's a creative move. I think we take this bishop. Looks like Larso is going, he's just trying to flag him. This is, yeah, they were up too much time. That's a weakness for Helm's Knight. But she has moved her king's bishop. So can't take, or that would be free queen. I guess lost the queen anyway. Now Helm's Knight is the one attacking. Should have taken that, but decided not to, I guess. I like this rook move. Would have taken the knight though. Oh, pawn's on the 7th. That's rough. I think bishop check, take the pawn. Probably a good approach. But Helm's Knight's going to attack instead. The problem with this attack is if you don't checkmate, you are going to die. These pawns are that powerful. If take, then there's knight check, and you have to sack your queen. Not looking great for Helm's Knight. Pretty hard to defend this. We take that. Can press and repeat. Now has another knight. Partner just got that knight. That's a critical knight. Knight check. Ooh, not going for that. Okay, I guess it's mates. Knight check. Pawn check. Okay, that works too. Use the queen as a pawn. A lot of fast moves in the opening here. This is risky. If you get a knight, then d2 is very weak. Or you can just like threaten to win the queen. I guess Chewy might have been down time, so couldn't wait for that knight. The knight was absolutely crushing. So here Chewy would like a knight to win the queen, but in the absence of a knight, even a pawn is good. You don't just lose this pawn, at least you get a piece for it. You can't even castle because of this threat here. And Larso may consider dropping a pawn on e7 to force the queen trades and bring the king out at the same time. Although he really wants to get rid of this pawn. Bughouse knight down about 1 second. So there are multiple knights under attack. I guess Chewy is just going to wait for the knight. And it will become a time scramble. These are all pretty fast players though, so time scrambles don't necessarily go to the Chewy team. Bughouse Knight asking his partner, when do I move? They are in a call together, so it's a little weird that he typed that. Although he's muted in the call, so maybe he doesn't have a microphone, so I guess he can hear Larso. But Larso can't hear bughouse knight. That is a very weird sequence. Chewie was going for mate instead of taking the queen. That was a very risky thing to do because Larsa was just trying to flag him. Did Larsa just like hang a queen? I guess he's getting it back. Now he has a good attack. That's a fancy move. So knight is going to mate. Knight at c4, checkmate. So knight under attack. But Helm's Knight gets the checkmate. That's a nice mate. Don't really understand why Chewie pushed that pawn twice. Very weird idea. I feel like this is a good square for the bishop lined up against the king. This was a different good square, but still. Maybe pawn check first. That is interesting. If queen takes, then this promotion would have been good. Going after the queen. Knight's trade. Pawn check. Rook check, take queen, I assume. Promote. Looks quite good for Larceau. Either with bishop check, you can always move the knight to check. He took another approach, but that's a free queen. Chewie has resigned. Our score right now is 12-10, favoring Helm's Knight and Chewie. Larceau grabs the rook file. If you lose your g-pawn, might as well get an open file there. Attacking the knight and also this important square. Good bishop placement. Most of the pieces are on the bughouse knight Helm's Knight board, which I think is the way Helm's Knight likes it. Helm's Knight likes to attack. Although right now bughouse knight has a more aggressive position. Helm's Knight willing to give up the rook to keep attacking. Trading queens. Time is very even. Chewie would like that queen. What does he do with it, honestly? Honestly, I think Chewie's in trouble. I don't see an immediate attack for Chewie. Oh, and I was wrong. That's a pretty good attack. Now the queen is going to mate. Bishop check. Then wait for queen. Queen check, king up. And then what? Then rook check, bishop takes, queen up. Our score now 13-10, favoring Helm's Knight and Chewie. Bughouse Knight probably wants a knight. Oh, okay, he's just going to move. Helm's Knight has sacked. Rook takes? No, I guess that doesn't work. Yeah, I felt the queen sack would happen from Helm's Knight. He just wants to attack. Put an pawn in, I guess, although that's covered by a bunch of things. Maybe something will land on h3. Okay, bughouse knight just wanted the free piece. Maybe throw a queen in here, just for extra safety. Bughouse knight should start attacking, and he does. Pawn would be good. Okay, he's using the queen. He wants to create a little piece factory. So the threat is queen takes pawn, followed by queen in. Looks fairly strong. Also, I guess this is just a free knight. You can just take it because of the pin. It's a rough position for Helm's Knight. And that is mate for Bughouse Knight. Our score now 13-11, favoring Helms and Shui. Attack in g2. Another knight would be good. Probably win a queen. Okay, just gonna defend the knight instead. Did he just take this? I don't know. Oh, finally got the knight though. Probably need to take this pawn at some point. Though maybe she'll ignore that and just keep attacking. Seems dangerous for Helm's Knight. I guess a rook is going to be very good. Oh, this is a very strong move. If queen here, then queen here's mate. It's a promotion. Probably has to sack the queen. Not sure how you even live through this. You can't take because queen in here is mate. It's tough. So when in doubt, attack. Helm's Knight is going to attack. That doesn't really help. Yeah. It's a mate for Bughouse Knight. Nice mate. Shui has sacked, but is winning back a piece. So if you win back a piece, it's not even really a sack. I assume we're taking this. Not sure what we're waiting for. Okay, now a bishop would win a queen. He gets the bishop. Free queen on the way. Do we continue to attack? A pawn is very, very good. Okay, gonna attack the bishop. That's reasonable. Pawn is still good. There's the pawn. I don't necessarily like this move. Oh, maybe knight takes knight and then pawn drop? Yeah. Oh, and Helm's Knight gets mate on her board. I get laser focused on one board. Sometimes I miss the... What's the saying? Miss the forest for the trees or the trees for the forest. I don't know. Bughouse Knight is telling his partner that pieces are bad. Saying hold material, hold material, hold material. So rook or queen would have been good for Helm's Knight. Helm's Knight gonna continue to attack. Now knight is good. Could trade queens first and then figure that out later. Larso in a bit of trouble too. I guess he could always sack the queen, knight check, knight takes queen. I guess he's waiting for a rook. So he would like this queen trade, as he would like to take the knight, drop a queen check, something comes in, knight check, then queen takes. Don't even bother taking the queen because it's mate. So rook mates for Larso. Time is fairly even. Larso might be down 1 second. if that. So Larso is waiting. He could take the knight first. I don't see any reason why that's bad, because a second queen I don't think is gonna mate for Helm's Knight. It is an interesting sequence, by the way. Queen at f4, pawn takes queen takes queen, becomes a queen trade. Just a fancy queen trade. If king over, two knights and a rook mate. Okay, two knights mates for Chewy. But that's very unlikely because he already has three knights on the board. So basically, knight at g6, knight at f7 is mate. But he's in trouble. It's very hard to defend this knight. And by hard, I mean impossible. So, I mean, without the fourth knight. Pawn at e6, I like a lot. I think we take this pawn. Okay, that's interesting too. If queen takes pawn, you have the fork. Now he's won a queen. And it's with check, so we can still drop a pawn at f7. Or you can knight check, take the rook. That's what he's chosen to do. Queen at c7 is a threat. He would like another knight, probably. Okay, pawn in the corner, threatening bishop check. If queen takes, bishop check, still a threat. Gotta sack the queen, probably. I mean, I guess gotta and probably are different things, but yeah, that worked out. Gotta and probably mutually exclusive, but need to sack the queen, definitely. Pawn at g6, because either pawn taking creates a weakness. If this pawn can drop a pawn, make the rook move, take, and knight takes pawn. And of course, bringing the king out to s7, always fun. Queen at f5 is a possibility. He would prefer another knight to put on g5. He's just going to move his knight. Ooh, don't like this rook move. Okay, I guess Chewy was dead anyway. Getting this pawn to take is very useful to create a weakness. But this early, there is not stuff to drop. Like a knight is really good for Helm's Knight. Could drop a bishop in while she's waiting. Eventually she wants this knight. Okay, but she's not getting the knight. Therefore, she's just lost pieces for absolutely nothing. Bughouse Knight is now safe forever the rest of the game. Chewy has to play down two pieces. And take that. It's perfectly fine. Okay, our score now 16 to 14, favoring Chewy and Helm's Knight. Chewy on the attack. Doesn't care about his queen, threatening mate in one. And they've resigned. Thanks for the follow from Chess Training Academy. Really appreciate it. Bughouse Knight on the attack. A little surprised he didn't take the rook. This is okay, I guess. I should say she didn't take the rook. And now Helm's Knight is on initiative. We're gonna rinse and repeat. Well, this king is not a happy camper. This king probably going to be checkmated pretty soon. Helm's Knight losing a bit of material. A queen mates for her though. I guess she thought, whoa, what? I thought Chewie could have taken the queen, but maybe he was always in check. Yeah, it's looking like sad times for Chewie. Chewie has had better days. Queen is still quite good, not necessarily maiden. Helm's Knight winning a bit of material, but it's not going to be enough. Chewie's position was just too bad there. Winning final score. This isn't a match. They're just playing for fun. So the current score is 17 to 15, favoring Helms and Chewie. 17 to 15, favoring Helms and Chewie. But they're just going to play until someone gets tired and needs to leave. Some people care about the score though, so that's why I'm saying it every now and then. Larso on the attack, knight check. Oh, this probably mates take, and a bishop mates, or 2 pawns. There's the bishop, mate for Larso. Our score now 17-16, favoring Helms and Chewie. Again, this is a very even match. Here, you could trade or take, and then drop a pawn in and win the piece back. But she does not wait for a pawn. Instead, she's just going to line up everything on the dark squares, continue to attack. I guess you're going to take this. Bughouse Championship. We have a command for the one coming up. So, this is an event that's going on next week. So this will start August 19th. It'll be August 19th through the 23rd. There are qualifiers Monday through Thursday, 2 arenas a day, and each arena will be a 2-hour arena. Top finishing team from each of the 8 arenas will progress to a double elimination ladder on Friday, the 23rd of August. And it is double elimination. There is a prize pool of $7,500. So the top winning team gets $2,000, meaning $1,000 a person. And it kind of goes down from there. This is a new event, part of the Variant community series to promote variants more on chess.com. It's being run by chess.com. There's another event called the Bughouse World Championship, which has been run for the last 5 years and is run by people in the community rather than chess.com itself. And that event is still going to happen. We don't know the exact schedule yet. That should have a $5,000 prize pool. And then another event coming up is there's an over-the-board tournament in Toronto coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. It'll be the 24th and the 25th of August. And a lot of strong players are going to be at that tournament, including the top probably 5 players in the world. So at the top of the leaderboard right now is A Wonder Liang, who's a grandmaster. He's going to be there. Chewie, the person in the bottom right here, he's going to be there. Chicken Cross Road, 12 Teen, who many consider to be the best in the world, even though he's not currently rated best in the world, going to be there. A lot of people are going to be at the Toronto tournament. I'm not going to be able to make it to the Toronto tournament. Just wasn't enough notice for me. Okay, it's the Smothered Mate, which we see pretty often in Bughouse. But I hope to make it to a future tournament if they make it a regular thing. The Toronto event is organized by a guy named Fishy Bishy. He's organized a number of bughouse tournaments, but he always gives like 4 months notice or something like that, which I require more notice to plan for things like that. Okay, so knight check, I feel like would have been good. I guess he still has it. And you can play queen takes knight if they're threatening mate. The question is, would bughouse knight have mate if that happens? He's gonna go for some defense. Okay. Bughouse knight throwing that defense on. I think he has weathered the storm. He's gonna live here. This is a great move because he can take back. I think Bughouse Knight did a great job defending there. Hey, Chemical Chess. Yeah, I did some streams yesterday where similar to this, where I was watching High Level Bughouse. But the streams yesterday, I was in a Discord call with all the players, so we got to hear their thoughts. This particular time, the players are in different Discord calls. There's a Discord call with Larso and Bughouse Knight. There's another Discord call, probably, although I don't see the other Discord call, with Helm's Knight and Shui. So we can't hear all at once. The Discord call that theoretically I could just hop into with Larso and Bughouse Knight. Bughouse Knight is muted, so it would only be Larso talking anyway. So I figured I would just do commentary without the call. Yeah, Chess Training Academy. They're like next level good. You can learn a lot by watching them. And if you're 1950, you're pretty good yourself. I think the big difference maker between like 1900 and a 2500 is mostly going to be speed. So you probably see a lot of these tactics they find, but they just play it a lot faster. And speed is a component of Bughouse because basically the faster you move, the more pieces your partner can feed you because of the sitting component. Helm's Knight is one of the best attackers out there. He's going to continue putting pressure. Probably knight at e2. Then we can start attacking. Ooh, pawn, push the pawn, knight takes. This looks like a pretty good continuation for Bughouse Knight. Bishop would be pretty crushing. Bughouse Knight is up 5 or 6 seconds, so I think he can get the bishop. Rook check also good, but bishop check is even better because you don't want him to go back. Bishop at f4, I think is going to lead to pretty easy mate. And king over, even rook in, is just checkmate immediately because he has the rook. The bishop mates. Bishop's under attack. I guess knight check also achieves the same result. Knight check, then rook in. So knight or bishop will come. Oh, he's going for draw. Okay, I can take the knight. Oh, he took the bishop instead. Probably didn't calculate out the knight mate. This works. It's generally titled too. Yeah, a lot of the top players are titled. Helm's Knight does not have a title. Bughouse Knight doesn't have a title. But Larso's a grandmaster. Chewy's a national master. Very strong. Yeah, Chess Trainer Academy, for sure. I completely agree with you. Bughouse is played a lot over the board at like pretty much every chess tournament. People play between rounds, and pretty much every university or high school chess club, they play Bughouse for fun, um, because Bughouse is more fun than chess. Um, I happen to enjoy over the board a lot more than online, but it's easier to arrange matches online. And online has gotten better since you can now talk to people on voice call. And that may seem like something that we've been able to do for a long time, but I've been playing this game since the late 1990s. So when I started off playing, there were no voice calls. So I'm happy that we've evolved to the point where there's voice calls. It makes it very much more similar to over the board. Hey, Dream Pile. No, I don't have a title. I am a patzer at chess. Um, it, you can't see my rating right now because I'm not playing, but my rating at Bughouse usually hovers around 2200, usually 21 to 2200 recently. I've topped out at like 2475, I think. I think almost 2500, something like that. But I was very overrated then. I don't claim that's my skill level. But I've played with all the best players in the world. So, like the whole leaderboard I've played with online and over the board. So even though I'm not the most skilled at this, I have a lot of experience. Oh, sure, William. Hope I can remember that. So what I ordinarily do is partner people and play myself. If any of you want to partner at some point, let me know. I'm usually looking for partners. I usually stream at night, so traditionally I stream Tuesday and Wednesday nights. That's when I'm on Chess TV. I just popped on during the day because there was this interesting match to watch. But usually the way I do my streams is I'll be playing in the random pool until I can find a partner. Once I find a partner, we hop on voice call and go from there. Hey, Milk of Amnesia. I am not the best in the world by any stretch of the imagination. But I have played with you, yeah. Hey, Elweden. Yeah, it's a very fun game. So the cool thing about Bughouse is, like in my opinion at least, it takes all the most fun parts of chess without the boring parts of chess. So the things I find fun about chess are tactics and attacking and things like that. The things I find boring and annoying about chess are people who memorize out openings for like 20 or 30 moves and end games that are just like memorization. I'd rather see creativity than memorization. So you see a lot more creativity in Bughouse, a lot more tactics. It's also a very social game. So chess can be a very lonely game, whereas Bughouse you have a partner to talk with, and you can collaborate with your partner. It is assumed and encouraged for you to talk to your partner, so you can improve rather quickly by getting suggestions from your partner. Yeah, no worries, Elviden. Everyone starts somewhere, and it's a very fun game even if you're not skilled at it. Bughouse Knight says no queen, so queen at f2 would be mate, of course. Helm's Knight is up 3 seconds, so Larso is going to need to hold this queen. So we're guarding this. Try trying to get rid of the pin so we can take the knight, I guess. Oh, I thought new knight check was good. Okay, this can work out also. So this pin is very important because this knight would like to move, but it can't. Knight is no longer pinned. If he ever stops checking, okay. We can just take that, I think. He's gonna do things with check. Bishop takes pawn is good. I guess queen check doesn't work because pawn check will come. Okay, bishop check. Oh, that's pretty good too. Queen up was just mate in one. Or no, it wasn't. I'm sorry, knight guarded. Yeah, so nice mate by Bughouse Knight. Nice trade in, achieved 1260, 10-minute rapid. Yeah, Dream Pie, it takes practice. If you get rusty, you can definitely forget some stuff. So probably pawn check and then bishop will mate because of queen takes, knight takes, bishop in. So Helm's Knight most likely waiting for a bishop. Another possible approach is just pawn and e6. And then if bishop takes queen, just a pawn will mate. But pawn at e6, possibility of bishop takes, then knight takes. Okay, so now pawns are pretty crushing. Hard to guard both, because now you can win the queen with initiative. And the queen mates for her partner. Main meta 1d4 top level? I don't know about that. It depends on the players. That's the other beauty of Bughouse, that people can play with different styles and different openings. This knight move was key. I'm surprised he didn't take that, actually. I don't know why you wouldn't play knight takes pawn. But I guess maybe this is a little bit safer, just less greedy. I would be greedy. Whoa, another queen. So knight is going to be really crushing for Chewy. Maybe could just like bring this bishop back to vacate a place for another queen. Seems like a possibility. And admittedly, this bishop would just hang back there, but that's okay. You want to guard these. Okay, he goes back that way. I would have gone to g4. But I guess that's just because now knight at f3 looks a little bit scary. Lars is going to get to attack a bit, but if Lars's attack ever runs out, then putting queens on e6, either a new queen or moving the queen, is going to be pretty crushing. Oh, knight check. So even pushing the pawn is mate. So this is an interesting move from Chewy. Helm's Knight on the attack. One knight is good for her. This king is just in a bind, has nowhere to go. They've resigned it. Our score now 23 to 20. That's 23 to 20. Favoring Bughouse Knight and Lorso. Bughouse classical time control. The problem is Stalin. So in Bughouse, you can choose not to move on one board in order to force them to make a move on the other board. And it's the diagonal clocks that matter. So if Bughouse Knight, for example, on the bottom left, has more time than Chewy on the top right, then Bughouse Knight may choose not to move. And then if Chewy also doesn't move, then Chewie will run out of time first and lose the game. So Chewie will be forced to move. So this stall is a strategy that is employed when you want to get a particular piece. So for example, here, Chewie would really like a pawn because a pawn mates in one move, pawn or bishop or queen. Chewie is up by 1 second on bughouse knight, so Chewie's not going to move. Bughouse knight doesn't want to give a pawn, so he doesn't want to move. But really, he would have had to move because he was down time. So Chewie still wants a pawn for h6. He also could try this knight takes bishop. Yeah, he's just going to use the bishop. Now he could think about sacking his queen if he gets a knight and a pawn. But knight is a little more than he has right now. This is an interesting move. Now, like, a new knight at g6 would be good. Did he move the knight, or he got a new knight here? Okay, you can sack this. I think Chewie missed mate. I think queen takes knight was mate before. He still has a good position, but it is less forcing than it used to be. This is check. It also guards an important pawn. Maybe we'll see a queen sack. But really, Chewie would like a knight. Queen takes, then knight check, win the queen, for example. Yeah, it's kind of fallen apart for Chewie. Again, Chewie had mate and didn't play it. And Helmsley gets mated. It's too much material. Our score now 24-21, favoring Larso and Bughouse Knight. So I may have missed this. I think what we saw here, and maybe I missaw this, but I think Bughouse Knight dropped a pawn at e2, which could be taken immediately, which is a funny strategy in Bughouse, because if your opponent pre-moves something random, then you can just take the queen. So it's at the cost of a pawn, but if you catch your opponent pre-moving, it just crushes them. Okay, mate by Larso. Bughouse Knight says last 4. Probably 4 more games here. Sacked by Helm's Knight. So trades are great for Helm's Knight. He's going to continue moving. Queen mates. Probably knight check would be good. I don't like the knight here. Would have just won the queen. Can't really take this because this reveals the rook. Oh, I would take the rook. Okay. I think taking the rook was better than taking the queen there. Because a free piece is better than a trade. This does look pretty good for Helm's Knight though. Pawn check. Okay, rook mates. They are up time on the diagonal clocks, up about 9 seconds. The Helm's Knight can wait, because this rook is forced. It doesn't need to wait though, that's mate. Nice find. You DM me? Yeah, you can DM me if you want. You can whisper on Twitch, or you can message me on Discord. Again, don't assume because I know stuff about Bughouse that I know stuff about chess, because I don't. I don't play much chess. I just play Bughouse. But if you have a Bughouse question, I can help you with that. or a streaming question, something like that. That's mate by Bughouse Knight. Our score is 26-22, favoring Bughouse Knight and Larso. I think there'll be 2 more games based on what they said before. So will there be a queen stack by Chewy? Apparently no. Well, now there might be. Oh, now it might have been good since he had a knight in hand. But he decided not to trade the queen. Holmes Knight's king is a little bit vulnerable. Bishop does guard these squares though. That's interesting. Taking advantage of the discovered check. Now, rook or queen. Very good for Helm's Knight. There's the rook. Queen at f1. Rook takes is mate. This may be the last game. Our score is 26-23, favoring Bughouse Knight and Larso. Oh, I guess you guys were talking to each other, not talking to me. Yeah, you guys can DM each other. That's fine. Sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, Dream Pyre, you would probably get better chess advice from someone with a Chess House Training Academy username than from me. Okay, so bishop check could win a queen, although this queen is in take. Also, you might just like pawn check and then just like keep checking a bunch. Knight over is also a possibility. I don't like this knight move. It seems too slow. Not really doing anything. Queen can just move away and you still have the same threat. So I actually, not only do I not like, I hate this knight move. It's just pretty bad. Okay, given a free rook. Now the queen is free. That's a fancy mate. Nice mate from Bughouse Knight. I think it's GG's. We're gonna say GG's in the chat. Final score 27-23. Final score 27-23. Favoring Larso and Bughouse Knight. I put that in the chat because sometimes people will watch my VOD afterwards and want to know real quickly how it went. Alright, I'm going to check the Discord. We'll see if someone's going to sub in. So it looks like Bughouse Knight is left. I think Helm's Knight is left as well. Because Chewy's asking for a partner. Oh, now maybe Chewy's partner in Larso. Because now they've hopped in a call together. I should probably end this anyway. Let's go ahead and find someone to raid. I have some other streamers I would like to watch myself. Let's see. Well, first of all, do any of you have any suggestions? Let me know if you do. If not, we're gonna just kind of pick someone at random here. I recognize John Galt the 7th. So I think that's a good person to raid. I've seen him in other streams. And also, I recognize John Galt as an Ayn Rand reference. So let's send you guys to John Galt the 7th. I'm going to be streaming again later tonight. in about 5.5 hours, I will be partnering, most likely be partnering Jarl Carlander. Very strong player, and he's taught a lot of bughouse players, so he's taught them to improve. He also has a wonderful blog. In fact, I think I have a command for his blog. Let me see. No, that's for a Discord server of his. Sorry. Anyway, if you go to the Bughouse Club, is this the Bughouse Club or my club? That's my club. Oh god. Alright, I don't have the right commands here, but if you go to the Bughouse Club on chess.com rather than my club, don't join my club, there's nothing there. If you join the Bughouse Club on chess.com, there are some links to learning resources, including Jarl's blog. And he has a lot of great blog entries, including one not titled this, but effectively it's how to refute all of Chuck's openings. Basically, it's a blog post that he calls terrible openings, but he only refers to openings that only I play and no one else does. So, might be useful to you. Alright, have a good one. Show some love to John Galt. Bye, guys.